I was sitting in victory lane after I won, and this guy comes up to me. I don't even know who he is. He's like, "Man, well, that must have been the most fun you can ever have with your clothes on." And I was stunned. I didn't even know what to say. I was like, I mean, maybe, but.
Back in the Freak Nation, it's good to get the dude in here, man. Connor Zilisch, running in the TransAm class. Who knows where he is right now? Maybe he's counting up the money and the trophies that this guy's been winning. He did something phenomenal this weekend. Now the youngest driver ever win in the TransAm series. He sweeps the weekend, and he joins us now in the Lucas Oil Studios. That's a fact, Connor Zilisch. You are the youngest winner ever in the TransAm class?
It is, yep. No, I've won in TA2 before, which is a different class, but that was my first time driving the TA cars, which 900 horsepower and 2,800 pounds. Basically an open cut motor. So for me, it was a lot different than anything I've ever done, but in a fun way, for sure. You can't really not have fun when you have 900 horsepower. And it was funny, actually. I was sitting in victory lane after I won, and this guy comes up to me. I don't even know who he is. He's like, "Man, well, that must have been the most fun you can ever have with your clothes on." And I was stunned. I didn't even know what to say. I was like, I mean, maybe, but it was a fun car and a lot of fun to race that thing.
Connor Zilisch joining us here on the Freak Nation, which, by the way, you can watch the TransAm and TA2 on MAV TV. And is it true? And I say, is it true? Because sometimes it's tough keeping up with the news with TransAm class from time to time with social media. You grabbed the pole in both classes, and was it start to finish in the lead? Is that right?
Yeah, that is right. I got the pole in both. I set track record in both classes in qualifying, and then I led from green to checkered in both races. So, it couldn't have gone much better, honestly. So, really good weekend, and it was a blast for sure.
It couldn't have gone much better, Connor Zilisch, but I saw some of the videos that Team Silverhair was putting up on social media. You were so busy on the weekend. You're running back and forth from each of your different cars. Take us through a little bit of the afternoon on Saturday when you had both cars going on.
Yeah, it's mentally challenging for sure. You're switching back from two different cars that are completely different, and you're on the same track, so break points change and everything's changing. And like qualifying, for instance, your fastest lap's going to be your second lap, so you got to get acclimated to the different car and the different circumstances quickly, going back and forth from those two. So it took a lot of focus and more than usual. Usually it's just one car and you only go on track twice a day, but I was on track 4, 5, 6 times a day this weekend, and it kept me busy for sure. But I think it honestly made me better because I had more track time and I was able to get more laps than most guys out there.
How did you keep yourself mentally together and nutritionally together? Because you really didn't have much downtime.
Yeah, staying hydrated is important. And thankfully it was chilly outside this weekend and it cooled off. It was in the 50s and 60s. So I wasn't having to worry about the heat and really sweating a ton. So, staying hydrated and eating. Thankfully, my truck driver was cooking some good meals and kept me fed all the time, made sure I was, eating what I needed to eat and drinking what I needed to stay hydrated. And, that's the toughest thing for me. I struggle with, like, even on a normal day, drinking water. I just never really think about it. And honestly, right now I need some water. So, it's one of the tougher things for me is remembering to always drink and stay hydrated.
Connor Zilisch, TransAm winner at VIR. I imagine some of the old timers were eager to help you when you first came into the series, but after you started putting them on the trailer, tell us which ones turned their back and said, "You're on your own now, kid."
Yeah, that's funny. Thomas Merrill finished second in the TA2 race, and they asked him on the podium. They were like, "So you're all excited about these young guns coming in at first and helping them and getting them up to speed, and how do you feel about it now?" And he said, his answer changes every day. So it's definitely got to be frustrating for those guys that have been doing this forever. And me, Brent Cruz, there's a bunch of kids that have kind of come in and I think me and Brent have won 10 of the 12 races this year combined. So, me and him have dominated this year, and, hopefully me and Brent will be racing for a long time to come. And, I'm sure the old guys aren't too happy with us.
I know long before you were born, there were two guys, Mark Donahue and Parnelli Jones, used to bang around against each other in the Trans Am. Do you and Brent really talk about that, or have the two of you gotten so good you don't talk to each other anymore?
Yeah, that's a good question. Me and him, we spend a lot of time together as friends away from the track, and when we put our helmets on, things kind of change, and we aren't really friends anymore. But we still race each other with respect because we know that we're going to have to be doing it with each other for a long time to come. So you don't want to really create rivalries at such a young age and not be able to kind of hang around the guy you're going to be
Wait a
around for
minute.
a long
Why
time.
not have a rivalry?
It's
Dude,
still a
come on.
rivalry.
That's a guy that's going to
It's still
take
a
money
rivalry.
out of your pocket.
It's still a rivalry, but we try not to wreck each other and make it a fierce rivalry. It's a competitive rivalry rather than a wrecking rivalry like you'll see in NASCAR and all those guys like Denny and Ross. They can't go golf together. Me and Brent will go golf together because there's a sense of respect.
Oh, I like that. Okay, so there's a sense of respect. I would imagine you trust him probably more than anybody else on the track. How do you talk about your futures? I mean, is it both of you guys going up to Trans Am maybe next year, maybe the year after? Or is it open wheel? Is it other sports cars? Is it IMSA? Where are you guys talking about to stay together for the future?
Yeah, both of us grew up racing go-karts together, and we've I feel like every race I go to, we both made our ARCA debut at Watkins Glen, and so I feel like everywhere I go, he goes with me, and both of us want to race NASCAR. So, he's with Toyota, I'm with Chevrolet, and we kind of go our own different paths, but we meet everywhere we go. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see where we meet each other in the future and where our paths take us.
His name, Freak Nation, Connor Zilisch. You're going to be hearing a lot about this dude wherever he goes. What owners have contacted you in the NASCAR Xfinity Truck Cup Series about driving for him?
Oh, that's a good question.
No, it's not. It's a great question. Tell me.
I don't know what I can say and what I can't say. I'm sure you guys know Justin Marks. He races TA, so I was out there racing with him this weekend, and he was my teammate actually, funny enough. And he was I couldn't tell if he was happy for me or mad at himself because he wanted to be faster. But every time we'd look at data in the trailer and he would be trying to figure out what he needs to do better because I was pretty quick and he was trying to get quicker and be able to keep up with me in the race. So every time he would go in the trailer and look at his data, everyone would say that I'm just young and I can do things that he can't to make him feel better. But he wanted it really bad, and I got to give him a lot of credit for that because it takes a lot for a guy with kids and a family and a cup team to come out here and race these cars and want it as bad as he does. So it was cool to share the track with him and be teammates with him this weekend. And it's tough nowadays. Those guys don't reach out to you anymore like they used to. And there's a few that have had talks with me and stuff like that. But, I'm trying to work stuff out for next year and hopefully get some stuff in writing soon.
Yes.
All right, here you go. Last thing for you. Connor Zilisch joining us here in the Freak Nation. Dude just swept everything in the Trans Am and the TA2 this past weekend.
First driver to ever do that, by the way. Both classes, same weekend. Amazing.
And you can watch the series on MAV TV. Connor Zilisch here in the Freak Nation, Lucas Oil Studios. Go to a full screen, Richie. I want all four of us on here for this one.
Oh, boy.
Don't say anything if I bring up a team owner name that talked to you. All right? Roger Penske.
Okay.
All right, so Roger Penske. Oh.
Nope.
No, Penske's
I wish
Ford.
that would be cool, but no,
be a Chevrolet
Ford.
team. It's like
That's true, yes.
So it's got to be Chevy. All right, so you'll be running for Rick Hendrick next year. I wonder who's right. You're gonna be taking. Whoa, you're taking Kyle Larson's ride next year?
Stop it.
No.
Or Junior Motorsports. He's in Xfinity. Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah. I ought to think of that one. We'll see.
Hey, Connor, it is awesome what you're doing, man. Congratulations to you. And thanks for taking a little bit of time out to join us here in the Lucas Oil Studios, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Hey moms, check this out. This is how we justify ice cream with the kids. You gotta put them to work. They gotta earn it. Stella, which Lucas Slick Miss product are you working with?
I'm working with the tire and trim shine, which is amazing. Watch.
Oh yeah, work it, girl. Henley on the inside, which Lucas Slick Miss product are you using?
I'm using the interior detailer. Watch.
Wow.
So easy.
See what I'm saying? Now, don't tell them, but Mom's got Speed Wax. Yep, that's the easiest one of them all. But they don't need to know that. Mom needs her ice cream too. So let's get to work. We got this. Yep, Lucas works.